40 years later, it still hits like a truck. But now you can heal your past all year long. It's the Transformers the Movie, The Apology Tour.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another movie commentary. It's a very special one. It's 40th anniversary apology tour of Transformers the Movie, and I'm joined by some good brothers from the Patreon tribe. Please welcome first, Ultra Adamus. How's it going, Adam?
Hey, everybody. Doing good.
And Bushwhacker Bob is here. Bob, how you doing?
Hey, rock and roll daddy. How's it hanging, you crazy cats?
Awesome. And Hans Chow is here as well. The excellence of elocution. How are you, Hans?
I'm doing very well on this Father's Day, and I'm hoping this apology tour makes up for all the drama.
And the man of man, Eric Witwicky. How you doing, Eric?
Good, man. Good, man. Thank you for having me here. This is great.
Let's do some plugs first. Eric, what did you want to plug?
I would like to plug Transformers Blockies. I think these are fantastic products. A lot of fun to put together, make for solid Action Master-like action figure when you're done. Give them a glowing review. And if there's anybody out here from that's watching from the Blockies company and would like somebody to represent Blockies and get some free product in return, I'm your man. So send away. Eric Lutz on Instagram.
And Hans, we're going to plug your Instagram as well. It's Hans_Chow at Instagram. Some amazing artwork there. A couple of toy hunt finds on there as well, but a lot of awesome custom artwork on there as well.
It's true. Yeah. I'll be doing way more of that come in the future. But yeah, if you want to follow, I'm happy for it.
And I also want to plug your Patreon, which is awesome. I'm a proud member of your Patreon. Love it. And one of my favorite things that you do on your Patreon is the book readings, where you use that excellence of elocution, that soothing voice that's like liquid marmalade. What's some of the books that you're reading on your Patreon?
The ones that we have mostly right now, I do a lot of Conan. I've done some Ernest Hemingway. I've done some Roald Dahl readings, but right now I'm working on The Hobbit, which is an extended read. I did not think it was as long as it was, and I forgot that Mr. Tolkien liked to sing. So here I am singing indeed all of his Tolkien-esque songs. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, as well as the upcoming graphic novel that I'm working on, which will be available come March next year, you'll see all those updates there starting next month. Yep.
Nice.
Also at Joe Fest. So if you see me at Joe Fest, say
Joe
hi.
Fest, depending on when this gets out, I don't know if it's going to be before or after, but hope you have another awesome time at Joe Fest, and everyone else too. Have a great time at Joe Fest. And last plug is for Bob Hansen Jokes on Instagram.
Oh, dear.
You also got a couple of YouTube channels. You got the Bob Hansen Jokes on YouTube channels, as well as you still do toy reviews on Singing Landshark with the Sun Bob production.
Yeah, Singing Landshark Toy Channel. I got a new. I made my own He-Man movie on. It's called Master of the Universe Generations. It's a 9-part, ultimately 75-minute movie, but they're in little parts. So 5 months ago, I was nervous that the one we seemed to all like that we weren't going to like it. So I took matters into my own hands and said, just in case, I'm making my own. So that's on the Singing Landshark Toy Channel, Daddy.
And it's as good as the new movie. I don't know if that's an endorsement for some people, but I love the new movies.
I think mine is better than the 87, but I think the current one is arguably the greatest film ever made.
And for Adam, I want to plug Memphis. Memphis rocks. It's the home of Jerry the King Lawler and the other king, Elvis. So, yeah. How's life in Memphis these days, Adam?
It's doing good.
Awesome. Before I kick the movie off, I just want to share this with you guys. I don't know if you've seen this before, but this is just for, if anyone is still carrying some 40-year-old trauma from Transformers the movie. I tried to help. I tried to undo it. So
Megatron! Decepticons! Not so fast! Your days are numbered now, Decepticons! Retreat! Now! Quick at once! I survived. Oh, my aching cylinders. You're telling me.
I fear the wounds are fatal.
I'm fine.
Prime, you can't die.
I said I'm fine. Autobots, transform and roll out. Megatron? Is that you? Here's a hint.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
There's quite a few people who don't seem to think that Starscream's death was all that traumatic. They think he deserved it, but I threw that in there anyway because it was just the way he went was kind of horrific.
The most
It
traumatic
was-
thing is that it's 40 years old. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Just I always love that when they establish the power level like early up on any new character, and they never quite kind of get back to that level. But like for him to vaporize Starscream like that in the original, Galvatron, and yeah.
My favorite explanation of that was, and I can't remember who said it, but someone said it at some point on one of these streams, that he was newly created by Unicron, and that was more of like the new canon smell, the brand new, fresh off the assembly line, still basking in the glow of the creation of Unicron, that he was able to do that. And then like literally an hour later, or even 10 minutes later, he couldn't do that. But it was just simply like the parts were still warm from being forged by Unicron, which is why he was able to do that.
He may have also just been really mad that the dude threw him out of a plane.
That's entirely plausible. He was really mad. Okay, so Transformers the movie. Let's see where we're gonna cue this up. So there's that logo comes up, the Deeg logo. How about the moment it stops spinning is where we're going to all pause it. So I've got the logo all set up here. It says DEG with a lion on top of it. It just stops spinning. It's just sitting there on the screen. Here's your countdown. It's going to be 3, 2, 1, play. And when I say play, you press play. 3, 2, 1, play. And then we fade to black. We get like the most epic movie Marvel Sunbow logo they ever did. So which of you guys have never seen this before? First time watching?
How many of us have only seen it once?
Blob's seen it once. Can't even guess at this point how many times I've seen it.
Ironically, I keep trying to get my wife to watch this, and she keeps going, no, you're on your own
Really?
on this one." Yeah. She doesn't do that very often. She's like, I really have no interest in this one.
It's like a good rock and anime, though. It's so
I
much
think so, yeah.
of like an 80s rock anime movie than a Transformers Sunday morning cartoon.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they kick it off. I always thought the show was more melancholy than other shows at the time, like He-Man and G.I. Joe. But they really like cranked the melancholy with immediately sad music. This nice race of people. Kranix, awesome new figure of Kranix just came out. And they're wiped out. And it's not just a race of adults, but children as well.
Not just the adults, but the women and children as well.
Yeah, they're all brutally wiped out by this evil. It's like, it's not just bad or evil, it's demonic. Like it's this demonic entity that extinguishes a pretty chill race of people.
Well, I think it's very much inspired by Galactus, right? I mean, this whole, yeah. It has like Marvel, cosmic Marvel vibes, which was always kind of my favorite part of the Marvel U.
Now,
Surfer and all that.
I'm not too familiar with Galactus. Does he actually eat planets like this?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Well,
in the comics, it's essentially what happens.
He turns them into goo, basically, and he kind of consumes the goo.
Okay. This is it's creepy. It's insect-like.
Yeah.
It's like an insect just,
well, and I
chomping
think
on
the
it.
mechanism's the same, because the way I kind of see this is he's like strip mining on an epic scale, right? Like it shows him like consuming the bits of the planet and turning into energy and power. Yeah, I see. Very Galactus, I think.
Which makes it even creepier that he's using them for fuel.
But I do have like a nod to Hasbro, like they made the figure of that whatever species that was that just got.
Yeah, he just came out.
Yeah, that was cool.
I just did a review on that on my channel, and it's really high quality. And there's a rock legend, Stan Bush, and I tell you, man, my bucket list of who I'd love to talk to is I've checked off pretty much every single celebrity. I got to talk to Stan Bush a couple of TF cons ago in Toronto. Nicest guy. I mean, you hear that with a lot of celebs, but especially the ones that never got like the billions and billions of worldwide fans. You know, Stan's an all-star, you know, talent, but you know, a lot of people out there might not have, mainstream people might not have heard of Stan Bush, but nicest, most humble guy, just a good rockin' guy. Always great inspirational messages to his music, because he did the Kumite song for Bloodsport as well.
Well, he did. Didn't he do the music for Rocky IV? I think too, right? Wasn't he the one that did that?
Vince DiCola did the
Vince
score.
DiCola? Oh,
Same
okay,
guy who
okay.
did the score for this.
Yeah.
I don't know if Stan had a
I
song
thought
in that movie.
Stan, yeah, because it was Lion, right, that did this theme, and then Stan's all over like the touch and everything, wasn't that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I got to meet this guy too, Vince Caroli.
This voice, this
the
guy,
narrator. Yeah,
Vince
yeah, super nice guy too.
the Autobots have been fighting that guy.
Yeah, awesome guy.
I just want to be clear that when we first saw this movie, my sister thought that when Kranich spilt the chemicals on the ground, that's what destroyed the planet. She did not understand that, you know, my sister's also about 20 years older than me, so she has no excuses. Anyway,
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe Unicron wasn't able to digest that planet, but whatever he was working on was some kind of cataclysmic chemical,
except
and
for
it broke.
Except for the foreshadowing, you know, it's.
Now, who else, when they saw this film in the theater when they were a kid, thought, "Oh my God, this looks amazing"? Like, do you remember that first moment where you see the animation and you're like, "This looks so much better than the TV show"?
They doubled the budget.
Yeah,
they doubled
the budget and halved the animation errors,
and halved the roster.
Yeah,
they legitimately halved the roster.
It was business reasons.
Well, I always love the whole idea that part of the reason they got rid of all the original Autobots is so they didn't have to pay the licensing fees on the automobile manufacturers.
Really?
Oh yeah, that was the whole reason they shifted to like sci-fi vehicles and stuff was so they didn't have to pay the licensing fees on all the real cars.
Well, I know that they started designing like the futuristic movie style cars to get away from that, but I never really put that together where it meant like, let's kill them off so we don't even have to reissue them. Like they're dead. That not only is the character dead, but the expensive license is dead.
And it only cost the very small price of billions of children's innocence.
Yes.
Oh well.
Cost a trillion tears.
Adam, do you remember watching this in theater?
Yeah, I do. I remember going to see it. My mom took me and my brother to see it. And, you know, you hear a lot about the trauma that people suffered from this, but I guess I was a strange child. I just didn't really feel that. The scene with Ironhide is the one that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, that sucked. He was my second favorite character behind Optimus.
When they showed in the first scene and it's coming up here where Prowl gets shot and his eyes smoke and his mouth smokes and he died. That was this first scene in the movie that we're like, like speechless, because we saw this in like a little mall in a cinema in the U.S. and my friend and I had to practically beg my mom to take us to go see it, and that was the moment where we knew it was like all bets are off. This is serious.
Yeah.
This, of course, leads to the eternal debate of whether Transformers have life insurance or if they have car insurance. Also, putting yourself in the hands of the person that hates you the most, who would later throw you out of a plane? Always dubious choice, Megatron. I never got that.
It's very true to the character, though. You know,
it's true.
Starscream was always the conniving one. Yeah, this scene in the cinema, I remember this, and I remember thinking like, "Oh my!"
He was eating a hot fried apple pie from McDonald's.
Yes, yeah, that filling, man, it'll get you every time.
And the Decepticons did not care about the Geneva Convention because there goes the medic.
Yeah.
And there goes the two worst of the G1 Transformer bots. You know.
So you guys like the original edit or my edit better, where they just run away? The Decepticons run away.
You made the snowflake edit.
I made the apology tour edit.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, this was
Was
it was
that
a brutal way to start the movie.
wasn't that Thundercracker and Skywarp who took the driving seats, and when they flashed, it was Soundwave and
Yeah, there's also a mix up with Ironhide and Ratchet. In one shot, they're belly down, and in the other shot, they're belly up, or
Oh.
it's inverted, whatever it should be.
Continuity be damned.
Yeah, it's different. It was different teams animating different scenes, and like literally, like one team will be doing one shot, and another team is doing another shot, and they don't know what each other is doing. So
the only thing I ever noticed in this movie was the size problems. That was it. Everything else, I was like, this is perfect. So
like what kind of?
it's mostly with Unicron. At one point, Unicron
Oh,
is massive,
yeah.
and at one point, he's not as massive. Still huge, but you know,
I think he's a bit of a, what is it called? A mass former, mass shifter?
he might
Because he's
be.
definitely smaller as a robot than he was as a planet. As a
They-
planet, he's bigger than Cybertron, and then as a robot, he's just he's like a hood ornament on it.
Ironically, they didn't kill the fish that they just fished up. He threw it right back in. You know, it's
Yeah. Because they didn't want violence in this movie,
yeah.
not against organics.
I suppose that ring around Unicron makes him look bigger too.
Just a moment of appreciation for that scene of him tossing the kid in the air and catching him mid
Yeah.
transformation. That was cool.
I was in the commercial.
Mhm.
Wasn't
Yeah.
so much trailers back in the day as commercials on TV, and I love that shot of him just chucking Daniel up in the air and catching him. It's a great song, Dare.
I always love how Hara puts it. You can see everything from Lookout Mountain.
Like it's this, because there's nothing else going on here.
Yeah.
It's like Lookout Mountain.
You know, but from a film perspective, they do a really good job just in these first 5 minutes giving the character of Hot Rod and Cup. You know, it's like, you know, that, and I love this bit. This is my favorite part in the movie. This shows Hot Rod's leadership right here because he sees the hole and he doesn't even hesitate.
Yes.
You know, it's like,
I love it.
What? Yeah, it's like,
I love it. He starts the war.
Yeah. And he saves their butts because they would have made it in unchecked if he didn't start shooting.
Yeah. I remember doing some kind of Justice for Hot Rod, Justice for Rodimus live stream at some point, and talking about that very fact that this guy is despised by a lot of Transformers fans simply for replacing their beloved hero Optimus Prime, who, I think is the ultimate hero. But nothing lasts forever. And I'm with Adam. I wasn't traumatized by this movie. I guess I was maybe a little too familiar with death, more familiar with death than most kids were, in 1986. I saw it as like a heroic death for Prime. Like, what a way to go. He went out, he literally went out on his feet, or he went out punching, and he had a hero's death. And at the end, he passes the torch to Rodimus Prime. I thought it was all good, but I thought Hot Rod shows a lot of initiative in this movie, and he does save their baby. And this guy's still complaining, like, "Hey, you stupid kid, what are you doing?" Like, I'm saving your butt. That's what I'm doing.
If you take a moment to compare Hot Rod to his contemporary at the time, who's Lieutenant Falcon. Lieutenant Falcon actively was in dereliction of duty that led to a bunch of other things. Hot Rod just did what he thought was right.
He got people hurt.
Yeah.
He got Gung-Ho, Alpine, and Bazooka hurt real bad.
I completely agree with that. I think Falcon is far less redeemable than Hot Rod is. 100%.
And then we got Ultra Magnus, he's definitely there. He's just there. Unfortunately,
he's just a soldier.
Yeah, he's really the guy who got the short end of the stick because of Hot Rod and Rodimus Prime. Like, he's the red herring of the movie. He was front and center on the new poster. He was the big toy that summer. We all thought, oh, is this Prime's new body or his replacement? And nope, it was a swerve. He was there to throw the scent off that Rodimus was the big new hero.
There was definitely some Mandela effect in this with Ultra Magnus in particular. I would have sworn as an adult seeing Ultra Magnus in the cartoon before the movie. It was like it wasn't until later that I was like, oh crap, that's right. He was never in
commercial.
the he was never the
The commercial. You saw him in the commercial because I
I
had
think
the
so.
same feeling, and he's in a few of the commercials before the movie. And here's what you're remembering: there's characters from the show, voiced by the voice actors from the show, talking to him in the commercial. So I forget who it was, but it was like Blaster or somebody, and they're like, Ultra Magnus, we got to go and deal with Galvatron.
Yeah.
So that's probably what you're thinking of, because
Yeah.
they looked exactly like the cartoon clips. And there's the foot shot.
And we can all discuss for a moment how meaningless the concept of gender would be to robots.
Well, yeah.
I do like the backstory. You ever read the backstory for RC? Is that
No.
the backstory is that she was actually created as sort of an ambassador to humans, to relate more to humans, as like a
Really?
feminine, personality.
Thank God that's
I
not the
thought that was
one I
pretty
read.
clever. No? Oh, okay.
The one I read
Is-
was Jihaxus took a male transformer and mangled them until it was RC, and I was like, really, writers, this is what you got for me?
I hadn't heard that one.
I like
That's a
Eric's
little
better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a little
no.
different.
And plus, just from a traditional standpoint, Springer with RC on his arm just looks better, like than Springer with Blur on his arm, like just from a Flash Gordon or that old Star Wars poster where, Princess Leia is hanging off of Luke.
Yeah. Now, the one beat that I think they really missed in this that they should have had is this should have been Metroplex, and he should have like transformed and fought Trypticon or something, right? That was the one beat that I thought in this entire movie that they should have thrown in there.
There's the IDW version of the movie. I believe it actually explained what was happening to like the Ark, for example. So we don't see Bruticus, Menasor, and a lot of the other combiners. And the reason why is because in the IDW comic book, they were actually assaulting the Ark at this point. So all the reinforcements they could have gotten from the Ark, all the transformers you don't see, they were battling them at the Ark.
That's a good explanation.
That'd be a great movie.
I'll buy that.
Or even like a little one-off 30-minute one-shot. That'd be pretty cool one-shot. If they just kind of got a bunch of sound-alike voice actors and gave us the side battle, sidequel. There's some timing issues with this movie. And the reason Metroplex isn't in this is because I don't think the toy even existed at that point yet. Which is
it wasn't.
It's weird because like some do and some don't. So we've got some movie toys, a Hot Rod and Cup are in this, right? And Galvatron and the Sharkticon. So you would think, well, Metroplex would be there, right? But I just don't think he was designed and existed yet, because they were actually making this movie while they were making season 2. That's why some season 2 Autobots are in this, like Perceptor and Blaster, and some aren't, like Red Alert. I know Red Alert was in a deleted scene, but I'm thinking like Inferno isn't in this. Why are some season 2 guys in it and some aren't? It's just the timing of it. Like they just hadn't quite created the character yet. And who knows, maybe Metroplex came out of this movie like, what would be cool if this city transformed or a part of it.
Metroplex from the design sketches is actually not the entire city. He's as you said, he's the front of it or something like that. But yes, he is remarkably missing.
And just to do some armchair directing here, if I was an armchair director on this or a producer or something, and someone floated the idea, I would just say, do you really want to do that? Because if you have a really big city robot, isn't that going to either take away from the big transforming robot planet at the end?
Good point.
Or is the city just going to look like nothing compared to this big? Like one is going to steal the other's thunder, whether you like it or not, either way. So maybe just keep this movie, keep the big awe-inspiring robot to Unicron, and then in the show, when Unicron's dead, then you can have the cities be the big awe-inspiring robots.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Look at Devastator. Like here he's transforming and they're like, wow, he's so awesome. He's really nothing compared to the rest of the movie, especially to Unicron.
But How tall is he supposed to be? He's like about 4 or 5 times the height of a normal
You
Transformer.
know, it's funny. He looks like a little over 3 times the size of Megatron, but he's supposed to, when they look at him, like, he's the size of a damn Chrysler building.
Yeah.
Like, he's not that big. He looks like about twice the size of an Insecticon from that one shot there.
I think it's one of those mass shifting things where he's as big as it's convenient to be at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, when we watched this as kids, the deaths were what was traumatizing. And now as adults, I think what's traumatizing for a lot of people is the inconsistencies, the size inconsistencies and the irregularities.
Why is Optimus Prime green in that shot?
They fought all the way till the morning. I don't know if anybody knows actually what happened. I mean, between the night and the morning kind of thing. I mean, I'm sure they had something scripted, but for time reasons, they probably had to cut it. Because I know, for example, they explain how Megatron is outside, then he's inside, and what happens to Devastator.
Yeah, it was a deleted scene.
Yeah.
Artist Stan, a guy named, I think, Artist Stan animated that whole deleted scene.
Yeah.
That explains, you know, how Prime gets there, and it's really interesting.
There's the eyes.
That was such a strange choice.
You know, it's funny. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a quick joke for an animator who thought, you know, it's just a quick thing for a movie that you watch in a theater, and things you just don't realize are going to be watched a million times over 40 years. And when you've seen the movie enough times, then you start to look for things that weren't, you know, all that important first couple dozen times. And then you really notice things like the eyeballs popping out.
Well, that's also the benefit of the pause button on DVDs and digital media is catching all those little details.
Yeah. The Touch by Stan Bush.
The Stan Man.
Yeah.
Of all the Insecticons, Shrapnel got like the worst treatment in this movie.
Yeah.
Worst.
This song was such an important piece of the legend of Optimus Prime. I've always maintained that Prime wouldn't be as legendary and mythic and beloved if he hadn't, you know, bought the cyber farm in this movie. So that was an important part. The sacrifice, the death, and the resurrection is an important part of the story of Optimus Prime. But that song too. So, you know, when someone just wants to write off the movie as, I hate that movie, they killed Prime, I just want to ask them, well, what about The Touch? Did you like that little theme song they gave him? I mean, it's an important part of Prime.
What's funny though is like I don't know many people, like I don't know if like that's an internet narrative of people that are being contrarians. Like I don't know many people that hated this movie. I mean, most of the people, kids like my age that have watched this, would like remember it really fondly. Well, you know, with the exception that it's like, oh my God, Optimus Prime died. But everybody I know is like, this is a great movie. You know,
when I made the trauma-free edit,
yeah,
I heard from a lot of people who, like, you don't know when they leave a comment. But I got the sense that they were pretty genuine about the appreciation for doing that edit, because it still bothered them to some extent, like kind of the haphazard way that their beloved heroes were just cast aside as like intellectual property to be made money off of. So yeah, I don't know. I guess there's still some people who just, they don't, it doesn't keep them up at night, but they're like, you know, that really, you did my heroes dirty. No one likes to see that.
I think that was something that was missing from the G.I. Joe, the movie, is a really awesome soundtrack.
Yeah.
Good point.
No, they didn't bring any rock songs.
Although the intro in that movie was pretty badass.
Yeah, that probably makes up for it though.
Yeah.
That the extended deluxe version of the G.I. Joe theme is pretty epic. And that whole intro sequence.
The intro to G.I. Joe, the movie, is on my, like, it's sort of just a mental list I keep in the back when I'm thinking about stuff. It's on my list of like favorite scenes in movies.
Yes.
You know, it's just a great intro.
So, you know, to the people who say Hot Rod got Prime killed, I maintain that Megatron got Prime killed, not Hot Rod. I like to argue that Megatron had more to do with getting Prime killed than Hot Rod did. You know, he did shoot him repeatedly.
Yeah, he's not in too good a shape right here. This is one of those like I'm not sure he's going to pull through.
I just don't know why you don't blame the guy who literally shot him over and over and over while saying, "Fall, die." He's like Skeletor. He's bad.
I love Starscream's kick though, kick to the gut when he's thinking this.
He's such a scumbag.
Yeah,
it's such a Starscream move. It's so, of course, because he's been trying to overthrow him for, well, at this point, 2 years on the cartoon. I love the little shot of Rumble carrying the gun.
I'm helping.
That's one of the things that too with a Soundwave picks up Megatron and brings him. It's like Soundwave is like just loyal, like that's loyalty for him. Yeah.
And for a character who's monotone, he actually sounds a little sad.
Yeah.
As you come on, Megatron, he sounds a little sad that his not just leader, but sounds like there's some loyalty there in a group that has very little loyalty amongst them. So it's a nice little moment of, Megatron's a piece of garbage, but man, it's nice that someone on his team cares for him.
If you've worked next to Megatron and you have worked with Starscream and stuff, it's only a matter of time before you think to your head is like, listen, Megatron might be a bit of a jerk, but I do not want to serve under a guy who's a jerk and an idiot and a coward at the same time.
Better the devil you know than Starscream.
In the cartoon, it kind of seemed like Soundwave and Shockwave were some of the earliest Decepticons to join Megatron.
Yeah.
And
Shockwave is another really good soldier, just a loyal. And he also said, it's funny, Megatron's 2 loyalist soldiers are also the most tired sounding. Like Shockwave is, as you command, Megatron, everything is, he just sounds exhausted. And Soundwave too, yes, Megatron.
IDW explained those things really well, because Shockwave was originally politically an Autobot, and when Megatron kind of preached his rhetoric about how the Autobot rhetoric was kind of bad, essentially, because I think the leader before was Sentinel Prime or whoever it was. Shockwave quietly joined the Decepticons and worked from that political angle. So his kind of like deadpan way of speaking was perfect almost for, he does sound like a politician, scientist kind of vibe. Soundwave is the same thing, at least to me. I like those guys.
Here's another reason why Prime's death didn't really ruin the movie for me or traumatize me. The Matrix is a physical representation of the spirit of Optimus Prime. Yeah. So Prime's dead, but he's passed his essence on into this. In 1986, we had no idea what this was. The creation matrix had been mentioned in the Marvel comic, but it was never in physical form like this. It was more of like a intangible power. So even though Prime's about to flatline here, he lives on, and I held on to that. Like, he's gone, but he's not forgotten, and his essence is literally, it continues in the movie, and it's not just part of the movie. He's the most powerful force in the movie. The Matrix is the only thing that can destroy Unicron. So the spirit of Optimus Prime, or the thing his spirit is combined with.
So this was when I was a kid. This part when he turns gray, that was when I was like,
well, the whole theater was crying where I went. The whole theater was just sobbing.
The part that cracks me about that whole sequence now, though, is that you always think like if Ultra Magnus was thinking like, why didn't the Matrix light and glow when I held it?
Sorry, your toy's too expensive. We're looking at a lower price point this time.
GMC is giving us a 2% increase on the royalties. We can't. Sorry.
Oh boy. And they even put that little shot in where it didn't fit, and it's not animated very well, but it's Magnus fumbling it and trying to put it in. They really try to get the point across that this ain't the guy. He isn't him.
Robert frickin' Stack.
Today on Unsolved Mysteries, why doesn't the Matrix fit? Was it designed that way, or was it foul play? These poor buggers.
I just don't have time for that right now.
We're clearing out the old stock.
Love it. The smirk.
What's that running down his face? Is it tears or goo?
It's goo.
Goo.
It's It's Transformer goo.
Leaking lubricants.
It's leaking lubricants.
Stuff.
It's very satisfying to see him thrown out like a piece of trash. So even though Prime didn't beat Megatron, didn't kill him, it's nice to see someone just chuck him like a piece of trash.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah. And then also, like, there's a lot of satisfying moments in this movie for, despite there being an apology tour going on, acting as if there's a lot to be sorry for. There's so many, like, great moments in this movie, like Chuck and Megatron, like Starscream getting disintegrated, like the Decepticons fighting each other for leadership here.
I
Another
love this
great
bit
moment.
when they shake Devastator apart.
Poor Astro Train is like, can you keep it down in there?
Please, you're in my liver. Stop.
Someone's on my bladder.
This is my favorite sequence.
Yeah.
Basically, Megatron talking to Satan.
Yeah. Making a deal.
Yeah.
Making a Faustian deal with the devil. It's one evil person, one of the most evil people making a deal with the most evil person.
Orson Welles in his distinguished final performance.
Yes.
I love how dismissive the lines are. No one summons Megatron. Then it pleases me to. Who do you think you are, little flea?
It's great
man?
banter. There's great banter
It's
between
fantastic.
this gnat and this planet.
Now, have any of you ever heard the rumor that, because as we've established, this is Orson Welles' last performance.
Yeah.
There is a rumor that Leonard Nimoy recorded some of the dialogue that Orson Welles didn't record, and they modulated his voice down. So in some scenes, it's actually Leonard Nimoy talking.
I mean, yeah, that there's going to be that rumor because he died so soon after recording. But I can't remember who exactly, but I remember reading or hearing from someone who worked on the movie. It might have been Flint Dille at like a convention or something. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. But someone working on the movie, like a Flint Dille or someone, was asked, and they were very just quick and dismissive with it. They're like, no. He sat down, he recorded for his hour, and he was done. Like, he doesn't have that many lines.
Did he start talking about frozen peas?
Now the French. Wells was a hoot, man. Some of those outtakes where he's trashing some of the people on those
Yeah.
commercials. What in your infinite stupidity do you mean? Or something to that effect. What
There's
in your
no
infinite-
possible way to start a sentence emphasizing with.
Yes. Why in your bottomless stupidity would you want me to say it that way?
But the dude directed Citizen Kane. I mean, he has some credentials under his belt.
He was a true auteur, right?
Auteur,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do everything. He was James Cameron before James Cameron was.
I would love to see how they did this. You see this?
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is
Beautiful.
great.
Yeah, we got a couple of artists on the round table
It's like
here.
Tron.
Eric and Hans, and this is just amazing.
Could you imagine drawing it and then making it move?
Yeah, incredible. Beautiful. What a way to introduce the new villain. Like, instead of just a snap flash, they introduce him this way. They're
Yeah.
taking the old junkers and they're reformatting him. And they've made toys of this stuff. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
See-through pink plastic with the grid lines on it. This is how you bring in the new stock for 86.
Well, even this, like from a marketing and merchandising standpoint, they were really smart because historically, the villains don't sell as well as the heroes, so they have less different models of villains. So they have that you buy multiples of.
That's right. The
So
sweeps.
The troop builder. Yeah, the troop builder. That's the word.
Even Cyclonus, for some reason, had an extra. His armada. Like, what? He's never seen again in the show, but he's got an extra one bot armada in the movie.
Who's what's the animation studio again who did this?
Sunbow.
It was Sunbow,
Was
right?
it Sunbow?
And
Yeah.
can you imagine that? It's like you come in, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, you want to get the day started, and Paul Hoshi-san is sitting there. Oh, I've finished 4 seconds.
Yeah. This is similar to the eyeballs popping out of sludge, the trumpets, the exaggerated movement to them. Oh, I've never noticed on the right side of the screen there. I think it was Ramjet was like pointing his null ray at the Constructicons, like he was going to blast them next. Jeez, 40 years and I'm still seeing new things in this.
I want to know who all those dudes are, because Megatron was the first Megatron leader. So I mean, Decepticons, who are those gold guys?
They all have names. I can't remember where I saw that, but it was like in the original, the notes or the script or something. They all have like random names.
But they were Decepticons, or
yeah, they're Decepticon leaders, I think.
Walk it off, Starscream. That's about all you can do now.
And I love how he just walks on this.
Yeah, that's an intro right there.
That's pure contempt right there.
Now, one of the things I do remember watching this movie as a kid for the first time was it was a raw deal that Prime dies and Megatron gets to come back as this super cool, like the son of a gun. Like he's purple now and he's blasting Starscream and crushing crowns. He's just so cool. And that kind of sucked that Prime is dead and Megatron gets a new paint job.
I disagree. I think that's a terrible deal, because if you think about it, you struggle against your arch nemesis for millions. Yes, and so you got to rest.
I would go on to learn that in the rest of the movie.
Oh, all right. Okay, all right. The time, right?
But at the end of that scene, man, it looks like Megatron won the war for that short amount of time.
Not only are you like a slave, but like even when your boss dies, you're nuts. You spend the next few seasons of Transformers being a lunatic.
How much better would this scene be if CCR started playing on Blaster? Whoa, thought it was a nightmare.
I am so glad Jazz survived. Like, I cannot tell you. And I'm also glad that my favorite Transformer, Sideswipe, didn't get his head blown off somewhere in the middle of all of this. Like, I was like, yes!
So now that you mention this, Jazz and Cliffjumper survived this movie. And in the following season, since these guys survived because the writer liked them and wanted to keep working with them, and Casey quits. Casey Kasem, voice of Cliffjumper, up and quits over disagreeing with something in one of the episodes. And Scatman Crothers passed away. So two of the few original Transformers that survived this movie end up like not being a regular thing on the cartoon anyway.
Casey Kasem also quit, or was about to quit being Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
On Scooby? Maybe he was done with voice acting, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. But the reason why is that he was a vegan, and he insisted that Shaggy become a vegan too. Otherwise, he can't voice him anymore.
I mean, you can't do that. You're playing a character. You can't always, have your personal beliefs be applied to what character you've been playing for years. They can't change it. Sometimes you can, but you can't really. Good for him for standing by his beliefs, and the big thing is good for him for walking away from money, because a lot of people won't walk away from money in order to stand up for their beliefs, and he didn't seem to have an issue with walking away from money for his beliefs.
So this is totally unrelated, but if anyone wants to do a fun YouTube search, Dana Carvey did a spot on Casey Kasem. It's absolutely hilarious.
Dana Carvey,
believe it or not.
All right.
Blast from the 90s right there, right?
This is where we learn Megatron actually lost, because this is a fate worse than death. He's a slave now to Unicron. And that's part of that Faustian deal.
Yep.
Sometimes free stuff costs too much.
All the science and technology of the 80s, or what we thought the future would look like. Because it's 1997 or something like that. How is it?
It was, yeah.
This is the year 2005.
2005, that's it.
I don't know about you guys. I want my hoverboard or rocket powered.
Oh, wait, I forgot one's in this movie too. Yeah.
The year is 2005. Lord of the Rings just finished Return of the King. You know, it's just
We're still not wearing white jumpsuits. What the heck?
And we
were
do
all
not have
supposed to wear white
hoverboards.
jumpsuits. Yeah. Although a lot of vehicles do look like Cup and more like Cup. Everything's just kind of curvy and round looking.
The only thing that's really different is we have phones that are combined with computers and fit in our pockets.
Yeah. And you can actually watch this movie on.
And some people use words that if you're 10 years younger or older than them, you don't understand what it means.
6767.
Skibbity. Whatever, you know. Oh, thank goodness Daniel was not talking like that in this movie.
Yeah, that's a redub. We'll need to put in there.
You could imagine that someone redubs that. Like, you know, instead of like Daniel just crying and being quiet, he's like, OMG, someone unalived Optimus Prime. I would turn it off immediately. I would be done.
Dab that 6767.
Yes.
Yes.
Oof. Oh, and now there's one less sweep. I didn't realize one of them died. Blur. How do we feel about Blur?
I think that the voice actor, and he did like Micro Machines and all that sort of. He was a
John Machida Jr.
guy. Yeah, thank you. At this point, I would say he had kind of been played out, right? I mean, he stopped seeing him commercials and stuff, and he was, yeah. I'm not sure about that one. That was one of those kind of things that felt like it was old when it came out.
I loved it. Like he was the only one that sounded like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's unique.
Maybe because it was all the commercials and stuff he was in. I don't know, when I was a kid.
He had been around for a little while at this point, right? Because he used to be in those old FedEx commercials.
They didn't do it in the season 3, but in the movie when he moves, there is an actual blur. I guess it was too much work to do in the cartoon, but I like in the movie how he actually has a blur.
I agree. I think that was done really well in the cartoon for sure.
And he's annoying, but I mean, he's supposed to be. He's this movie's version of C-3PO. He's supposed to be.
He's certainly not wheelie annoying.
Was he also fast? Or was he just
Blur?
Yeah,
he's supposed to be. I think his bio, his tech specs bio said he was incredibly fast. They never really represented that. Like when he's being chased by Junkions or Decepticons on the Junkion planet, it's not like blink and he's gone. Like, you know, he's just kind of riding the same speed as everyone else.
Yeah.
He should have been like insanely fast.
Yeah.
He should have had a blower. He should have transformed into Mad Max's Interceptor, you know, like the fastest thing on the planet.
I still though like RC is, you know, when we finally got toys over years and years and years later, but the Susan Blue, man, I think has such a distinctive voice. She was in so many of those Sunbow shows, and she's always good.
Mm-hmm. So many of the Sunbow voice actresses. Scarlett was great. Lady J was great on G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
They really knew how to pick them. And plus over on Filmation as well, the voice actresses for Tila and She-Ra, also fantastic. Marlena.
Yeah.
You know, the late Morgan Lofting as the Baroness. Another great. The ladies were just as good as the men.
I think in that way, though, that's one of the ways I think Sunbow is actually really progressive. Is I think they had a good selection of strong female characters that weren't, weren't damsels in distress kind of thing. Like they did their own.
And it felt earned. It felt what's the term they use now? Merit based, rather than you and you and you and you and we have a quota to fill. Whereas like all the female characters in the Sunbow shows.
It didn't feel forced.
Yeah, it didn't feel forced. Like they were some pretty bad mamma jammas themselves.
Yeah.
They weren't damsels in distress, although we literally just watched Springer save RC's bacon, grab and save her. But I mean, she, just moments before she saved Hot Rod's bacon too. So, she's very capable.
And Alita won too.
This is one of my favorite lines in the movie. Just like the Shrybaths of Dromadon or something like that. How'd you beat them? And then Cup goes, I try to remember. There were an awful lot of casualties that day. Like, that would make it hard to remember, wouldn't it? There's so many deaths. I'm trying to remember when we finally figured it out. Experience, lad. You should learn to appreciate it.
I can't. I mean, even though like Eric brought up earlier that the idea of a gender transformers was kind of weird. Like I liked RC.
Oh yeah, me too.
She
Yeah.
she broke up the male voices, and the little contrast was well welcome. For me.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I definitely didn't really think about it when I was a kid. It's kind of on reflection and more.
She was the
thinking-
pink one, not the girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had already gotten that episode of the female Transformers in season 2. I never gave it a second thought. I thought she was part of that group. Like, it wasn't until I was able to go back and rewatch that episode with the Elita One's crew. I thought RC was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, watching this movie, I was like, oh, it's one of Elita One's troops. And then rewatching that episode, I'm like, oh, I guess RC wasn't there. I just thought she was an already established character.
Mm-hmm. Well, really, I think this movie, and honestly, I'm going to say one of its strengths is that it exists, and I think decently as somewhat of a standalone film. Like, I think you can watch this and not know a lot about Transformers, and they put it together pretty well to where you can watch it and kind of get it. I don't know. I'll have Carla watch it. I'll get back to you and confirm or deny that.
I was just going to say, tell that to your wife.
Yeah. Did any of you guys see Transformers 1?
Yes.
I haven't yet.
Several times.
Like, compare, contrast. Like, I thought it was a fun movie, but it didn't really feel like Transformers to me. Maybe until the very end. But I would say I think this is a better movie. I think it's more entertaining. I don't know if people think I'm insane saying that, but that's at least what I thought.
I think that Transformers 1 and this movie are purely comparable. I think that I don't like either one more than the other because both of them to me are cinematically from a Transformers fan point, like almost perfect.
Yeah.
Like when I heard the Transformers 1 didn't do well, I was like, the world is not only unfair but unkind. Because I found Transformers 1 was such a fun movie. My kids loved it. Every other child in the cinema, and it was a full cinema, and we went to see it. I went to see it with my kids 3 times, and I saw it by myself 7 times. Like,
what, really? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I kept
That's
going
amazing.
back because I was like, I can't wait for this to stream. This is too good. And every time I went, the cinema was full, and there were lots of kids, and they all enjoyed it. So I wondered to myself, and I own a few of the toys, so the toys were great. So I'm wondering, who said that this movie should not get a sequel? And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Michael Bay, but why should he have 6 of these? You know?
Yeah, and I'm gonna back you up on that. And I do think Transformers 1 was a lot better than a majority of the live action Transformers film. The 5th Michael Bay film is, and Mike, you know this, I've said this before, is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's like I could barely make it through it. It's like, yeah, that movie is just horrid. And I like the second one. I like the second Transformers Bay movie. So it's saying a lot.
I really, the first Bay movie, the second, the third, I was having fun. I knew this wasn't Shakespeare. I knew this wasn't going to change my religion. But at the same time, I went in and I had fun. But at a certain point, they're obviously just insulting my very meager intelligence. And I didn't appreciate that, you know? But Transformers 1 set us up in a place. Not only did it not have any human characters, but it showed us the culture of Cybertron. It showed us what they were facing off against. It showed us the crisis. It showed us the history. It showed us everything that I think we wanted to see.
That was set up in the first episode, in the first 5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've not met a single Transformers fan who didn't like it. So who said it failed? The critics? That was it? You know, that's not fair.
I mean, a lot of people just aren't going to the theater anymore because
Yeah,
it's just a giant pain to go to the theater.
yeah, and expensive.
It's expensive and it's not fun. Like the movie might be fun, but the experience isn't fun when people around you are talking, especially if they're making fun of the movie, if they're making noise, if they're looking at their phone. It's just the theater experience is stressful.
Y'all gonna make me rewatch Transformers 1 again. Anyway, it's such a good movie. I so love it.
Now, as someone who hasn't seen Transformers 1, would you say, generally speaking, it's a fun movie?
Not only is it a fun movie, a big part of it to me is also respect.
Okay.
And it is a respectful movie.
So then would you also say this movie is fun? Just, despite the deaths, the horrific deaths in primarily the first 15 minutes, would you say this is a pretty fun movie?
This movie's prioritization, at least in my opinion, is escalating the level of threat to a place where all the kids and the viewers are wondering, oh my gosh, is this going to be Empire Strikes Back? Are we not going to
Right.
make it through? And to that point, this movie is amazing, right? And they sprinkle a little fun in it. Transformers 1 is fun, but the threat level is, even though it is really high, it's not as high as this one. You never get the feeling that,
I'm starting to just wonder if there's a lot of people who don't want fun. As weird as that sounds, like I'm starting to wonder because evidence is starting to really pile up that some people just don't want to be happy because the new Motu movie was fun. A lot of people that saw it thought it was fun, and it seems like a lot of people just don't want to be happy.
I think I think people still like fun movies. I definitely do. I mean, two of the more fun movies I've seen recently, if we're just speaking pure cinematic fun, is Mortal Kombat 2. I thought was great. Of course, I'm a Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat fan, and Masters of the Universe is great. But both of them, neither of them are very successful. And I think when you look at these movies that do or don't do too well, and like Transformers 1 and Masters of the Universe and Mortal Kombat and all these kind of movies that are based on these properties, I think it has more to do with either franchise fatigue or the market really isn't quite there for these properties to support it. Which, in the case of Transformers, it's hard to make that argument because all the Bay films did so well. But even what was it? The Rise of the Beasts or whatever it was, the last live action movie didn't do too hot. I don't think that, from what I recall, that didn't do too awesome.
it didn't.
But
it was fun.
It was okay. It wasn't one of my more favorite of the live action, but my favorite live action movie is the Bumblebee movie. That was hands down, I thought, the best.
Travis Knight, same guy who did the Motu movie.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
I think the problem is not that people don't like fun anymore, but the newer generations are redefining what fun is. So it's always easier to pick the lowest fruit, right?
Well, look at the Obsession and Backrooms that did incredible, and those are movies made by the YouTube generation. And Minecraft did insane, and that was I mean, Minecraft and kids, and I'm sure there's going to be a Fortnite movie one of these days. It's just, I think it's just speaking to where there's a market, really, more than anything, unfortunately.
What I would really love is that there's a really important movie line in the Motu movie where Adam goes off to do his thing, right? And they're like, he knows we know, right? And Man at Arms just smiles and goes, just let him be.
Yeah, that was good.
And it would be really nice if people would just say that, like, okay, you hated the Motu movie. Just let it be.
Let people enjoy things.
You don't have to go on your social media and trash it. You don't have to talk about how much you hated it. Okay, yeah, like share, sure, you didn't like it, but I'm talking about like repeatedly, repeatedly airing your monetized outrage.
Well, you know what the thing is, though? So I mean, I could be a little sardonic about it and say, oh, but Mike, then you don't get the views, right?
That's right. Well, that's why I added the monetized outrage.
Yeah.
The performative monetized outrage is the full term.
Most of the videos and reviews I saw online were actually very positive.
That's the weird thing.
That's the weird thing. It's the first movie that I've seen in a long time that got and I include Mortal Kombat 2 also, because a lot of the fans and stuff were like, oh, Mortal Kombat 2 is great. I thought it was fantastic. But it got like really positive word of mouth, and it just didn't translate to ticket sales. That was really bizarre.
I don't think they care about the ticket sales. I think in streaming is where it's gonna.
Yeah.
That's where it matters for them.
Did any of you see the Project Hail Mary?
I
No.
did not, but I heard good things.
Really good movie, and it was one of those that did better as it was had been released like weekend after weekend. It had done better for like 3 weekends, and it was word of mouth. Like it was a really legitimately good film, and
I got to cut in. Just hold that thought for 1 second, because Krennic has one of my favorite lines in the movie.
Yeah.
And I love this character. Got a great figure. That line right there. Spare me this mockery of justice. There's another guy who went down swinging.
Yeah,
Good on him. That was cool writing. He's about to be devoured by sharks, but at least he said, "Up yours," right before they dropped him into the pit. But you were saying, Eric, sorry.
No, that was basically it. I love this. Now, didn't they release a pack with like the Quintesson and the?
He was tiny in that one, though. Krennic was very small in that one.
Yeah.
A non-transforming little tiny micro figure.
Yeah, so good.
As I said earlier, it's not that people have redefined what fun is, right? And it is more fun to complain, and it's funny enough. It's easier to do, and it's more fun to watch. And I have to use my wife as an example of this. It's like she'll go and she'll look at a video on Instagram, and then she'll go into the comments, and then you look at the comments, because I don't really read the comments too much. But the comments that have the most votes are the ones that are the most insulting to whatever video it is, the ones that are most burning, most scalding. And that's the generation we kind of see growing up. It's easier to make fun of people. It's easier to, and it's just the way people are.
Well, it's negativity bias. And people respond to that. Yeah.
I saw a post on Facebook today where one of the pages was posting and saying, which Hollywood star was the worst at running, or it says something like, these Hollywood stars can't run, and they listed a few that actually couldn't run. Like anytime you've seen them run, you'd go, oh yeah, that guy has kind of a weird run. Like they list Keanu Reeves, Nicolas Cage, and a couple of them. I was like, yeah, can't argue with that. And then Robert Patrick, and my first thought was, what? Robert Patrick? He has the most insane, like, fluid run in Terminator 2. What are you talking about? And I never leave comments on this stuff anymore, but scrolling through the comments, one of the people said that. They said, what are you talking about, Robert Patrick? He was amazing in Terminator 2. Like, they had to slow down. They had to slow him down because he was too fast for the camera rig. And the reply to that comment was, these pages do that on purpose. They'll throw one in there for you to disagree. Because there's a disagreement addiction.
Right.
There's a disagreement epidemic in the world. And so they'll intentionally throw something in there to get you to go, because everyone is addicted on the internet to
Yeah.
And so to that, I just say to audiences, be very careful, because you're being manipulated.
Oh yeah.
So when you bust in there and try to dispense justice and go, no way, that's engagement. That's monetized engagement. And they used you. You're not leveling up. You're not leveling the score. You're not administering justice. You're being squeezed for every penny, for every cent. You're being squeezed for money for your engagement.
Putting a big S for sucker on your head.
Yeah, with the line through, right? The S with the dollar sign. Yeah. So it's just a warning to audiences that, like, too many people will only speak up to disagree, to say, no, wrong. It's fine to disagree, and it's fine to debate and argue. But I maintain that if that's the only thing, and plus the big one is, if you don't know the person and your first impression, your introduction to that person is, that's a terrible first impression.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. Like, try developing a relationship. For any one of you guys can right now say you're full of it, Mike, and I'll go, cool. Because I respect your opinion, because that hasn't been our relationship for the whole time we've known each other, but to meet a new person whose first thought is, you're so wrong, it's like, cool, well, let me be wrong, just let me be, and goodbye.
I just always kind of look at that as just keyboard warriors that are, it's like when people I think right now everyone's blasting Millie Alcock, the Supergirl actress, and she looks like a caveman, and and it's just like, you see the pictures of the guys that are insulting her. They're like 65 and look like they have a full pizza for every meal, kind of stuff. And you're just like, shut up. It's like, yeah, what kind of jackass is gonna go on? And it's just, I don't know, that's just negativity, but it's just stupid. People are lame. That's what
easy. I always say it's easy to be brave from a safe distance.
Yeah, exactly.
The internet is the ultimate safe distance.
Yeah, or behind the wheel of a car and behind, with the windows rolled up. Anyway,
this has been a question that's been asked a number of times. I feel like we've discussed it before too. Why does Magnus get to come back from that? And so many other people who died in the movie don't get to come back from being shot
because they didn't lose the marketing rights for his toy. Anyway.
Yeah, Ultra Magnus is a new toy, and he's an abomination. Don't trust him. Soulless automaton.
If you really want to think about it, when he got blown apart, everybody knows that Ultra Magnus is really a little white Optimus Prime inside. So all his arms and legs blew off, his head blew off, but we know that it's the inside.
I like that.
That didn't get damaged.
That's a good idea. That's
a great, the head was hidden in that, you know what? That's a new one. And I love it. The head for the toy. Well, the head is out for the toy, but it could have been, he could have transformed it into his chest compartment.
You heard it here first, folks. Trademark Hans Chow.
There you go. Hans_Chow. Give him a follow. Do a little sketch of Magnus like doing that.
Oh, please.
Hidden in there, like a little X-ray of what's going on inside the chassis in the
Lost
cab.
in the fences.
While all the useless limbs for the trailer are blown off. Another great rock tune by a Canadian band Spectre General, called Kick Axe in Canada, but they weren't allowed to use that name in the States because it was used by someone else. But another great rock out tune while they're literally mowing down Sharkticons. You need this scene in a movie with so much of the good guys getting thumped.
Yeah,
you need to see these guys just mow down while laughing Sharkticons.
And I love this scene right up here when he punches him.
Yes, punch. I'm gonna beat you with your own tail. It's awesome. You've weapons acquired on sight.
This one right here, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The moment they give it, where the teeth fall out, and the other Sharkticons are like, "Oh no!" Great choreography there. And then, like, to top it off, that's a great little mashup, punch up right there. But this door falling and squishing
this part, I remember got a howling laughter in the cinema.
Perfect. I learned so much of timing, matching up music to visuals from this movie. Like when the door is falling on that guy, synced perfectly to the song where the singer's going, "Whoa!" I can't believe, like, just perfect syncing between music and action. The shots in here, in the mouth. How's that for an Orson Welles shot for you? Want to see from the perspective of his mouth.
Oh, given the severe matter, this is actually comedic timing done right. A lot of Marvel movies especially are guilty of this. They turn everything into a joke. But the Dinobots are able to inject comedic timing into this whole movie, but it never is unwelcome. It always feels like they haven't trivialized the situation. They're just being themselves, and that's fine,
It's kind of funny. I mentioned the 3PO of the movie earlier, which is Blur. The Dinobots could be looked at as the R2 of the movie. They're kind of in the same vein of,
funny but useful.
They're odd. They're different than the rest of the robots. They're dumb. R2's not dumb, but they just kind of get the job done. Like R2 always just kind of pulls it out of the fire by pure luck. And the Dinobots do that too.
They're lovable and everyone's rooting for them.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just big, dumb, lovable oafs. And they're dinosaurs. And what kid doesn't love dinosaurs?
Right.
If Grimlock did die in this, I think we would have had a very different movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
because he's not the melancholy character that Prime was.
No. He's also very young compared to the rest of these guys.
And Ironhide was one of my favorite characters, but he was an old warhorse.
Yeah.
And again, like, he got taken out real nasty, but I kind of figured like that's what's going to happen to him when you've been around that long and fought that long. Like, it's going to take that guy out. His name was literally Ironhide. You're going to have to blow his head off if you're going to stop him, because he won't stop. He's like a Terminator. But to kill Grimlock, he's just a fun-loving goof, and it would have crossed the line that it didn't really cross with the others. Plus, we know Wheeljack and Windcharger didn't die, right? They survived.
Yep.
It's one of those things. It's like you can mess around with Optimus all you want. You kill Grimlock, got an answer for that one.
That's right. Yeah. So it'd be like killing Daniel. Like, hey, dude, that's off limits.
Don't kill the kid. Come on, you know.
They do that today.
It's okay if he ends up as a headmaster for RC and permanently in a suit later, but don't kill him.
Yeah.
Now, if they had killed Retgar, it'd have been like, okay, well, he's back 2 minutes later. Great little duel, a side duel between Springer and Retgar in here. You always have to have in every animated show, movie, guys who fight each other and then they become friends. Now, I'm working on the latest Turtles history video, and it seems like more than half of the new figures start fighting the Turtles, and then they become friends. They're like, oh, sorry, yeah, that was a misunderstanding. You guys are actually cool.
Who did the designs for the Quintesson stuff? Do y'all know? Because it's so alien compared to all the Transformers are very boxy, but all their stuff is almost, organic.
It's almost H.R. Giger-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very techno-organic.
Yeah. Even the planet, think of that. You've been hit by a couple of missiles and you're trying to figure out a place to crash land, and you see this weird, not even circular shape, and you're like, well, it's all we've got, and that's where you go. Nothing good's gonna happen.
That was the one part of the final Bayverse movie where they kind of teased the character Quintessa was in it, and they kind of teased the Quintessons, and never deliver on that. That was the one bummer of that entire movie for me, because that could have been really cool. That would have been interesting.
I never. Bay was going to turn Earth into Unicron, from what we saw, and I don't like that. That didn't sit well with me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's weird. That would have been weird.
It's not enough to reuse names, which is what some of the Bay movies did. Like, we're just going to reuse the name. Like, you try to reuse the essence of it too. And that's what I keep going back to the Motu movie, but they really reuse the essence of a lot of things, like in the sense of Mossman in the new Motu movie never hurts anybody. That's a Lou Scheimer edict. Mossman does not hurt. He's Mother Nature, and Mother Nature doesn't attack and fight. But I just got the sense in some of the Bay movies, he's reusing the name and name only, not the actual character.
It's not the spirit of the character.
The spirit. Yeah. And that's a hard argument to have with someone who's not spiritual, because everything has to be tangible. So there's no point in trying to explain something that's not tangible to somebody who doesn't believe in spirituality, the immortal soul, the creator of all things.
The name is not enough, Right. The name is not enough to make the thing the thing. The thing has to possess the spirit of the thing.
Now, this is the shame of the movie is Ultra Magnus. He really does come off as the biggest choke artist of the whole movie. Unfortunately, in order to make the whole movie work for me, there has got to be a jobber. Someone has to lay down and do the 3 count. And it's Ultra Magnus for sure. He gets the Matrix, he can't open it, he loses it, he gets blown apart, he gets brought back together, and one of the first things he says is, I lost it, sorry, we're done, we're cooked. He's not even a beacon of hope at this point. And it's Hot Rod again, who steals his thunder. And it's like, no, we can do it. So yeah, Hot Rod is great at the expense of Ultra Magnus.
I guess it's a song of innocence and experience, right? It's like, remember, Ultra Magnus is still very old. He knew Prime in the beginning. So he's like, well, we lost it. we got our butts kicked. We have to think of a way of fighting in a different way. Whereas Hot Rod hasn't seen enough of it, and because of that, hope, I guess.
He's still young, dumb, and full of energon.
I also point once again to the G.I. Joe movie. There's a huge scene after Duke dies in the original script, where there's actually a funeral scene in the original script. And Falcon has that kind of moment, at least I believe, where he's looking at the grave and having that talk. I'm pretty sure that a lot of this movie never made it into that. I would love to see the original script. I'm sure there's a lot of dialogue, like things that would have been fantastic to animate and things that fans at our age now would love to see that made it out. So maybe may have been more, may have been, I lost it. It was like, well, can we get it back? He's like, no, this, that, and the other thing. They could have been, there's more, I'm sure a lot of it did not make it into the final product. At least in my heart of hearts, I hope that,
Love the audacity of Galvatron. Like, I'm going to teach you a lesson. And then he doesn't even know what to do. He's just trying to claw at it. And he's getting the same. That's satisfying that the exact same thing that happened to Ultra Magnus is happening to him. It's like, it's not opening for you either. So I think that was an important part of the script, that you see another Transformer, even if it's a Decepticon, trying to open it and fail. Because then again, it really hits home that Hot Rod's the right guy in the right place. And I love the time they gave this to transform Unicron. It wasn't just a like they actually, and it didn't even have that sound, which sets him apart from all the other Transformers. That the time they gave it for him to shift. But yeah, we mentioned earlier the scale issues. He's tiny now compared to how big he was in Planet Mode. And there's tired sounding Shockwave. Oh no, let's run for it.
There was some lore, and I'm not sure where it came from. I think it might have been the IDW comics, where any of the Transformers that have the single cycloptic eye, it's like there's a backstory to that, like it's some sort of a punishment or something like that, or some penance or something like that. I don't remember. I don't remember what I don't remember what I remember reading.
That's interesting.
Or where that came from. I don't know, Hans. Have you ever heard that?
I've heard something like that before.
Yeah.
Because Whirl is one of those too. The Autobot Whirl helicopter from '85. He's also a one-eyed guy.
Yeah, the comics established something about that, and it's literally like some kind of penance. And I've never been able to find it. I remember reading it somewhere, and I can't remember what it said.
There's another important line right there where Hot Rod goes, "Well, Cup, what do you have to say?"
Yeah.
Isn't this right? And Cup is like, I got nothing. Which is like, if Cup has never seen anything like this.
Cup is speechless.
There's this whole scene that was awesome. I love this part. When I was a kid, I was so amped when I saw this.
Perfect syncing up with the song again. Dare right as he smashes through the eye.
Right in his eye.
And it's Hot Rod. Again, it's Hot Rod who takes the initiative, who goes, let's go for it. He brings them right into the mouth of madness, or the eye of madness.
The belly of the beast.
The belly of the beast. Now, he's not with them at the moment. He brought them here, and unfortunately, he doesn't have to deal with what he brought them to. But I love the fact that he grabbed the reins. He literally grabbed the stick, and he's like, let's go. And he pulls the throttle. He's already, before he even opens the Matrix, he's already assuming the mantle, grabbing the mantle of leadership, showing initiative. While, again, at the expense of Magnus, who's off on some Junkion ship, playing second fiddle to Wreck-Gar?
Oh, yeah.
Wreck-Gar, what do we do? What?
And his tone changes like almost completely by the time the third season comes around.
Mm-hmm.
He's not so aggressive and taking the initiative. He's more full of doubt.
That always kind of bothered me in the cartoon. It was the season after this, right?
Yeah.
And he gets all like introspective and I don't know if I deserve this. And that was weird.
It's too bad they took a step back.
I think a good real life comparison I have is look at politicians when they're first elected, and then look at them at the end of their first term, or look at them at the end of their first 4 months. they look terrible. Because
Yeah.
if you deal with enough annoying people
Yeah.
for 2-3 months, you're gonna become something different. And at the end of this movie, not only is Autobot City thrashed, Cybertron is thrashed. They're missing maybe 50% of the Autobot population. Moonbase 1 and 2 are gone. And poor, we never see it. It's never on screen, but poor Rodimus Prime has to rebuild all that crap. And the first episode of the next season is them basically having the Olympics because they deserve some downtime.
Yeah.
And then right after that, about 15 seconds later, Galvatron comes back and the Decepticons are everywhere. So, I mean...
Yeah. That right there was... I did a great Patreon live stream with Bob a few months ago talking about what was actually the most tragic death of the whole movie. The death of Unicron's behind. Right there. His took a lethal beating from the Dinobots right there. Never gets brought up when people are, demanding an apology from the apology tour. Let's talk about the apology tour just for a minute here. What do you think of Hasbro's marketing campaign where it's the poster is Dead Prime and they've called it the apology tour? Stroke of genius.
I think so. I think that was tongue firmly inserted in cheek there.
Yeah.
But I thought that was fun.
They're showing us what they're apologizing for while subtly reminding us that it happened.
I mean, because it's going to happen, right? People are going to kvetch, especially from the safe distance of the internet. They're going to kvetch about, oh, this movie sucks and they killed my hero. And the fact that they're like owning it, right? They're leaning into it and owning it and go, yeah, we killed him. He's Dead Prime's on the poster. Slaughtered, and they're releasing slaughtered heroes.
These scenes where they're melting in this pit, that's like, brutal. Oh my god.
Yeah, good thing we don't know those guys. Can you imagine if that was established characters like Huffer?
Oh jeez. Technically they're about to kill Spike, it's just like,
oh yeah.
That is a desperate scream.
I love that he just kind of accidentally gets the job done. Just one shoots off in one direction and another just happens to hit the...
It's the Jar Jar Binks factor, accidentally doing everything in the movie.
And right here, Hot Rod holding his own. Sadly overmatched and overpowered by Galvatron. So he's using hit and run tactics.
Yeah.
I can't beat him in a straight up fight, so I'm going to sneak attack him, hit and run. This is the lightweight going against the heavyweight in boxing. And he's doing okay until he's not. But like he hangs in there a heck of a lot longer than Braun did or Prowl.
Yeah.
Ultra Magnus.
Well, yeah, that's a hero to me. He just keeps fighting, even though he's got no chance of winning, but he won't give up. He is the embodiment of the song Dare. Dare to believe you can survive.
This is also like the second time a Transform's been choked in this movie. I don't think they breathe. So
well, he's trying to twist his head off. Maybe.
I suppose it's a head twisty that we're getting.
But still, there's probably remote control. Like you can, I don't know.
In the new Skybound books, I think Shockwave gets his head blown off, and it's a floating orb. And I was like, "How? No! Now I continue reading because it's cool,
And this is a great part right here, where he wins the battle not through might, but by spirituality. Like this thing is a spiritual entity. It's not a big battery or a bomb or anything. It's a spiritual thing. It's in the comics later on, they would delve into it. The spirit of Primus, the Transformer creator. Prime is in there. All the leaders are in there. And it's magic, literally, that gets him out of this problem, that supersizes him into, what is this, Voyager class? Would you say leader? No, that's leader class. He's leader class now. And then he makes very short work of Galvatron, a character that's been beating the crap out of everyone the whole movie. And it took them 3 seconds to throw him out of the universe.
They take their time here too, when he puts his hands through the holes and
they get the point across that he's dealing with a very ancient mystic power. That this isn't just a button you push and activate Matrix, but he's it's like a religious experience or a spiritual experience for him. He's unleashing this intangible power of all these spirits that came before him, and that's what beats Unicron. Not all of the punching and kicking and shooting, but this intangible mystic force, kind of like the Force in shell form. Like he just released the power of the Force, basically.
If you think of the phrase "all out till all are one," and every Prime eventually dies, and their wisdom and experience goes into the
I like that.
Matrix, eventually
I like
all
that.
the Autobots will have had a chance if there's only one left to have held the Matrix, and therefore, technically, all will be one. So it's
That's nice.
and that line came from this movie. It was never said before. So
Yeah.
some writer was like, "Oh, that sounds cool," and it became part of the Transformers spiritual.
I like that better than the comic interpretation, which was till all are one, till the Autobots and Decepticons unite to fight the threat of Unicron, which didn't work.
No.
In the comic, they unite and then it didn't work. Like they failed. And then Prime shows up with the Matrix and he goes, "Oh, well, good thing I found this," because the whole being one didn't work. So good thing we still have this to fall back on. But I like the idea of all the Primes being one in the Matrix, and that's what destroys Unicron.
Yeah.
And it took that final Prime, Optimus Prime, to die and join the others to be one.
Yeah.
So I can talk about why killing Prime off in this movie was the right call till I'm blue in the face. There's just so many, right reasons to do it. And if he had survived, I think the movie would have been so much weaker, and the franchise as well. If there was Optimus coming out here and going, "We did it! Roll out!"
Luckily, I was only in a coma.
Yeah, I was in a robo-coma.
Well, I'll tell you, it never I mean, it was shocking, but I can't say it bothered me when I saw this movie that Prime died. And I did always think that Hot Rod was a strong character and a strong replacement. I think they just backed off when they got the backlash, and instead of just going with it and committing and doing it, and I think further diluting the brand.
Yeah. Now, in the old days, jumping from the small screen to the movie screen, the silver screen, it was a huge gamble. It could be, a big win, or if the movie bombed, it could be the end of the franchise, either like that year or very soon after. And I think the Motu movie in '87 tanking at the theater strongly contributed to Motu dying very, very soon after, the original Motu anyway, toy line. Do you think this movie bombing killed the brand off, like in the long run? Because in 1990 it was gone. So this brand, it trudged on, but I don't think it was ever as big as it was in its first 3 years after this movie.
I think Transformers has had one of the longest running toy lines. I don't think they've had any substantial.
Well, it came back. It came back, but what I'm saying is it died in 1990, and then through a lot of very, clever business moves, they were able to resurrect it. Mainly with Beast Wars at first, and then another number of decisions. But like in 1990, it was dead. It was canceled, discontinued, finished. No cartoon. The comic was canceled shortly after, and there were a few years there where there was nothing Transformers. It was dead and not planned on being brought back in spectacular fashion.
I think it struggled from not having a cartoon after this. Well, after season 3, I guess. G.I. Joe was kind of the same thing. There was a brief period where there was no cartoon, a couple of years, but then they brought it back, and there wasn't anything like Transformers. Yeah. Deke, even though it was Deke, but
it was still there.
Yeah,
it was Deke, but it was there.
I vaguely remember when they did that like reformatted cartoon where they put like all the 3D animated interstitials between the scenes and all that crazy transitions and all that stuff. Yeah, and G2, and like the toys. I remember the G2 toys because my one of my cousins played with those, and I remember he was I remember like thinking like, oh, those are all the same one. They just look a little bit different. They put different stickers on them.
The original reissues.
But I remember seeing the toys like at KB toys where they were, the Japanese versions that they were, or European versions they were repackaging and bringing out, like what was it, Machine Wars, I think it was, right?
Oh yeah,
But
Machine Wars.
yeah, it doesn't feel like there was an awful long time ever. I think I'm sure there were, like you said, there were gaps of 2 or 3 years here and there, but it seems like in one form or another, Transformers has really been a mainstay. It's like I would arguably say more than GI Joe. I think GI Joe had a definite break.
GI Joe struggled since, man, say even since 88, 89. Like it's just kind of hobbled. People say, well, Real American Hero ended in 94. Well, yeah, that's when they made the final Real American Hero figure. But was the line on fire in 94? Like were people beating down the door to buy GI Joe toys in 93? Even in 92? Like I think it was hobbling since like 88, 87.
But Ninja Turtles were on fire, and they had a cartoon.
Oh yeah. Turtles has been on fire like since it came. Has it ever cooled off?
Well, kids are always looking for something new, right? I mean, Turtles came in, and that became like Turtles and Power Rangers became sort of the two dominant brands for a while, and that's what happens too. It's like kids grow out of stuff, and new kids want something new, and something new comes out, and all that sort of stuff. It never really shocks me. I always kind of considered where GI Joe and Transformers both sort of halted, or were put on life support, was when the Sunbow stuff ended. Like none of the cartoons, like GI Joe wasn't the same when it went to DiC, and Transformers, the show kind of stopped, and it wasn't really until Beast Wars and the mainframe animation that sort of reawakened it. So yeah, that's at least what I see. The end of Sunbow was, I think, the end of Transformers in its first carnation.
That's definitely for me is when the vibe, the proper vibe of both GI Joe and Transformers ended with Sunbow, because DiC, it seemed more goofy, like it had that cops vibe. Wah, wah, wah. That's what I think of when I think of DiC, GI Joe, and then Beast Wars
the Turtles
was great.
Cartoon was the same way. It was campy and jokey.
That's right. But it was more fitting for Turtles than for, American soldiers fighting evil terrorists.
Right.
And Beast Wars was great, but it took itself very seriously. There were some fun parts too. There were some campy parts too. But there's also parts where Beast Wars takes itself really, really seriously. So it got way more serious than the Transformers cartoon was, even though the movie had extremely serious parts as well.
Yeah.
But man, does this movie ever hold up? Like 40 years later, and the soundtrack is still number one. The cinematography, the voice acting, everything to me about this movie is just grade A, number one. I never get bored of it.
Me either.
And I think Hasbro doesn't have anything to apologize for, but they're a big corporation, and they have their business reasons for apologizing.
I think it was a very clever move to kind of go, somewhat sarcastically, sardonically about it. Like,
I should clarify. I don't think they're genuinely apologizing for anything.
But no, it's I thought it was a pretty clever move, and I think they're yanking that nostalgia chain for us that were into this when we were kids. And I didn't buy the toys that came out, but the stuff that did come out, I think, was very collector driven. A lot of that stuff wasn't stuff kids wanted. It was stuff that guys our age wanted, I think.
Who wants Slaughtered Heroes?
Yeah,
they actually made like Ironhide and Ratchet Slaughtered
that was
edition.
pretty funny.
But they got holes all over them. What a missed opportunity to not do Prowl with like removable smoke and the orange eyes.
Yeah.
Or maybe even an action feature where you push a button and like a little piece of plastic smoke.
The spark gimmick.
Yeah, some of those toys have those fog gimmicks, right? You should pour water in him and the water can come out of his mouth.
That would have been great.
I'm not sure how you would do a Starscream toy where he disintegrates down to a pair of boots. So it would have to be some kind of a sand.
Kinetic sand.
Kinetic sand mold. That's it. And then you run maybe a hair dryer on them to.
They could do it like that weird Terminator toy, the exoskeleton
Oh,
goop stuff.
the
But
skin thing.
and have like a water soluble skin over like a skeleton, and just get it wet and it just melts.
And do a commercial. Do a commercial with children where they're like, Megatron, like with kids playing with it.
Yeah.
Megatron, you, here's a hint.
There's actually one of the artists I follow, a guy named Scott Dalrymple. Check him out on Instagram. Recently, what he's done is he's taken frames from the Transformers '86 movie and he's redrawn them using, well, his medium, which is mostly markers and inks and stuff like that. And individual frames of this are really amazing with regards to artwork. There was a lot of love and care put into all of this. And I think this is going to sound bad, and I'm not too sure I can phrase it properly, but the trauma this caused, I think, helped Beast Wars to run. This movie walked so Beast Wars could kind of run. Because as serious as Beast Wars kind of took itself, the amount of writing cues that Beast Wars kind of created set like an incredible tone for what I think is now like I think it's the aligned continuity that they have kind of combined together. G.I. Joe never really had that. G.I. Joe always kind of rewrote itself almost. And I don't think that was fair to the writers of the past to basically say everything old is bad. Let's reinvent it. Let's turn it into something else. And the Transformers writers, the ones that came after and every generation before, always made sure to say, well, let's see what they did. And then let's make sure that lines up. And I think that helped to take all the old fans and the new fans and join them by some kind of bridge. All the G.I. Joe fans right now, you find they're either like crusty old dudes like us, or they're like the crusty old dudes' kids. And the reason why is because they never created a legacy. And the only other example I have of this is Pokemon. Just trust me on this. So I know the first 151 Pokemon names off by heart. And my kids know the other 5 billion names or whatever. And I can say, oh, well, that's a Pikachu. And they're like, yeah, that is a Pikachu. Do you know this one? No, I don't know that. And it helps us to kind of bind together now. And Transformers has had that. Because if you go into like a Transformers convention, you see young kids that are looking for the Cybertron toys, that are looking for the whatever, the Transformers 1 toys. And then you have the older folks looking for the G1 classics or the remakes from War of the Primes or whatever. But I've been to the last couple of Joe Fests, and kids is like a commodity. It's usually the kids of the parents who were fans of the G.I. Joe. And that's, I think, was a great thing that Transformers managed to do. I don't know if they did it on purpose. That might have just been good writers doing good research, but they certainly helped to build what Transformers is right now, you know?
I think the one of the singular things about this movie is it's kept us all talking all this time. I mean, we all talk about like, oh my God, Optimus Prime dying. Oh my God. But you know what? I mean, I would go so far as to say Optimus Prime dying was like a cornerstone moment in my emotional development. You know, I mean, it was like comparing it to like Bambi's mom getting shot, right? I mean, it was a significant emotional cornerstone. And I think that's one of the reasons this movie is looked back on. I'm going to say with infamy, by people our age, right? I mean, we all walked out at something when we saw that movie, just like stunned, like, oh my word.
I guess if the only animation you had seen before that was the Transformers show and Bambi, yeah. But like I watched The Terminator probably a year before, and like Kyle Reese got mangled. He got smacked to death by a Terminator. He got shot and then thrown around, blown up, and then smacked to death by a Terminator, and then unceremoniously zipped up in a body bag. And so I watched that as a kid, like a year before. And so, you know, well, it was an animated character. It was a cartoon. And then also, like, I cannot complain about Prime's death. It's so top tier, heroic. He went out like a Spartan king. Like there's worse ways to die, guys. And literally a couple Autobots minutes before Prime died that way. You know, like Ironhide getting blown up and his head blown off, and the other guys. So it'll bother some people, you know, and it always will. It's something that they'll never be able to get over. But thankfully, you know, they can go and watch my trauma-free edit, and because it's all about headcanon these days, and your headcanon can now be he just got up and he rolled out, and he was busy at that other battle that Hans mentioned at the Ark. That's what Prime was doing the whole movie. He was over there helping out with the combiners at that battle, and he's okay. Don't worry, he's not dead.
Love it.
Prime's return in the season that came after this, if anybody has a chance to watch, I'm pretty sure that he comes back twice.
2 returns. They brought him back in Dark Awakening,
Right.
as an evil
Which
zombie.
one was the Rage Plague?
That was Return of Optimus Prime. That was the second time he came back, because when they did the Dark Awakening episode, I don't know if they were aware of the mom backlash, the fan backlash, so they just thought, hey, this would be funny, because Flint Dille, if you've read his book, he's a very funny, tongue-in-cheek kind of guy, and I could just picture him like going, hey, it'd be funny if we kill him again. And just simple as that, right? And there was no internet, and there was no huge
outrage
internet mob to appease. So they did it, and then we're like, uh-oh, like people are really angry about this movie, but they were already working on Dark Awakening. And then that's why they were like, we got to bring him back. And that's why he looks totally different from the end of Dark Awakening to the beginning of Return of Optimus Prime. He doesn't look the same. He's not missing an arm. He's not smashed, missing half his face, because it was just kind of like a quick, the two teams weren't talking to each other. What are you working on? We need visual reference. Just do it. Okay. We're in big trouble here. Just do it. They're boycotting. Kids are locking themselves in the room. Just bring him back. Well, we don't know what he looks like at the end of he looks like what he looks like. Just do it. And that's the second time they brought him back in Return of Optimus Prime for good.
I feel like when that came out, it was almost billed as or advertised as like a sequel to the movie. Do you guys remember that at all? Like seeing the commercials and stuff.
Yeah,
it was
a big deal.
It was cut as
Yep.
like the sequel to the Optimus Prime
Was it
Return.
2 parts or
all
3
this stuff.
parts?
I think it was 3. Was it 2? Oh, I thought it was 2.
2. Rebirth was 3.
And they used the touch.
They did use.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
For for a few seconds they did, when he opens the Matrix.
It's actually, in my opinion, another spotlight episode for Rodimus Prime, because he does fight hard to kind of make sure that Optimus Prime can come back, because ultimately I believe Rodimus Prime is also infected by the Rage Plague. But I remember watching that, and it had the same high level stakes as the movie, because everyone was getting infected by the plague. And it's basically down to just Galvatron and Prime at the very end. And even they understand it's not cool. This has to go. And when he does open the Matrix again and saves the world once again, fighting Rage and madness with wisdom, I like that. That was an excellent episode. As I said, Transformers really has some standout stuff. I find, once again, it's about respect. So the Return of Optimus Prime was very respectful. I didn't even know Dark Awakening existed. As soon as we're done here, I'm probably going to go and look at that. But I wasn't aware there was a zombie episode.
Oh, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should end this day on a high note. It's pretty dark. I mean, it's aptly named. It's Prime beating up on his buddies, and he's a mindless zombie. And I again, it's Hot Rod Rodimus gets some good character development in that episode too.
They also go to the trouble of reiterating the fact that some of the characters that died in the movie are dead.
Right.
There's a scene where Daniel's walking through the mausoleum and he's reading off the names. Ironhide. Like, these guys are gone.
This is all in this episode?
They're in a mausoleum. They're in a mausoleum that's floating off in space. It's like a memorial for the dead Autobots, and he reads some of the names, and one of the names he reads is Huffer. And so when I saw that episode, I went, wait a minute, Huffer didn't die. What happened in between the movie and this episode?
I told you it was a big waste of time.
Someone finally, I don't know, maybe Rodimus shot him. I'm just tired of this guy. Look, I'm orange. We don't need any more orange guys, okay?
Now I'm really intrigued. I wasn't aware about this episode at all.
Yeah, give it a watch and let us know what you think. It's interesting. It's kind of a middle finger. You would think that it's like, oh, they're complaining about Prime dying in the movie. Okay, let's do it again. but from what I've heard, that's not what the situation was. It was just like it was an interesting story, and Prime, well-established character. Let's have him be a nemesis for Rodimus. Let's put Rodimus through this challenge of having to actually fight his mentor, even though he was only mentored for a few seconds, in the movie. It's interesting, but it's rough seeing your hero in a decrepit, decayed, smashed up zombie form and being manipulated like a puppet by a bunch of D-bags who brought him back. It's the Quintessons that bring him back.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Those guys have such irredeemable bad guy potential. Like, has anybody seen Transformers Cyberverse? Okay.
Yeah,
Clips of
I've
it.
You've
seen that.
seen
Yeah.
a few episodes, right? So it's for younger kids. And I was like, I watched some reviews of it and I was like, okay, I'll let my kids to watch it. So we sat down there and watching it, and we reached the part where essentially, spoiler alert, the Quintessons come in as the big bad guys, and the Autobots and the Decepticons have to work together. And I was like, what a spectacular way to give the Decepticons a reason to actually side with the Autobots. And the series ends with the golden age of Cybertron. And I was like, this is actually great for kids. And then they take it one step further and they introduce, for those who are uninitiated, Tarn from the Decepticon Justice Division. And he becomes the final kind of conflict for them. A Decepticon from the future who was upset that they made peace and came back in time to ruin the past. And I was like, my kids were in. They were like, yeah, more of that. 10 more, please.
Awesome.
And even me, I was like, yeah, this is great. Because you know what? If you want to give the good guys and the bad guys a reason to work together, give them something more horrible to face. And there's nothing more horrible than robot squid creatures that have no scruples about doing things like resurrecting Prime and all that. I mean, so I hope that they tap into that more and make them evil, because Transformers 1 did it. And I was like, yes, good job, because everybody hates the Quintessons. Everybody.
I think we're going to have to check out Transformers 1 for future commentary. I'm very intrigued now.
That would be good.
I just wrote it off as this wasn't intended for me, and that's cool. Hope everyone that enjoys it. But if you're telling me that it actually is respectful and tries to kind of capture some of the vibe of the old show, yeah, I gotta check out Chris Hemsworth as Orion Pax. I'm intrigued now.
I hated that when they announced him. I was like, are you Thor? Get out of here. And then I watched the movie and I was like, okay.
He was good. He was one of the parts of that I didn't mind at all.
Does Peter Cullen have any lines in the movie?
No, Frank Welker does though.
Bummer. So not even like a wraparound opening and closing. That's what I was hoping for. Peter Cullen opening. Let me tell you about the time I was young and stupid.
And the same thing about oh gosh, what's this guy's name? Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh really?
I didn't think he was going to be any good as Alpha Trion, and I was like, okay, this is really good. And then Scarlett Johansson as Elita 1, and it was I thought the movie was going to fail on all these levels, and every single level I thought it was going to fail. It was good, and then I heard it did bad, and I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
Is it at all connected to the continuity of the old show, or is it its own continuity?
It's its own thing. It's a full reboot from the beginning.
But it's got strong echoes though, right?
Strong echoes. They reference all the things that you probably know and love, not only from the ideas of the transformation cog, the original 13 primes, the matrix of leadership, how Energon works in their universe, and it's good. It was respectful. I hope that the studio rethinks themselves, because it's worth it, man. It's really, really worth it. If anybody's watching this and you haven't watched Transformers 1, watch it. If you've already seen it, go and give it a rewatch. You may have prejudged it, because I found I didn't think that it was going to be as good as it was, and I've watched it at least 11 times, almost as much as my kids have forced me to watch K-pop Demon Hunters. But anyway.
You're inspiring me, Hans. I'm going to go watch it again.
I'm intrigued, so let's do that for our next commentary. And then definitely the Motu movie is going to have to be in the queue as well, because that thing is so nice. Such a nice movie.
it'll be streaming probably pretty soon, I'll bet. So we probably won't have to wait all that
I
long.
think that was the intention. I think it was
Yeah.
intended to be an Amazon Prime movie, and they just felt like if this goes straight to Amazon Prime, it'll have the kind of stigma that a lot of these straight to streaming movies have. Like, yeah, it was fun, but it just still straight to video, especially with our
Yeah.
it's like it's straight to video. Even if it goes to the theater and tanks, it still has the bragging rights, the aura of I was up on that theater screen, like Transformers the movie, the one we just watched.
Yeah.
This thing tanked, but it did play in theaters, and it has like the poster was on the street, hung up at the theater's poster little holder thing. It was playing worldwide, and there's still that cred, that credibility of having played in a theater. So the Motu thing, I think a lot of people still don't get it. They just they live and die by that box office, and I don't think Amazon cares as much as a lot of people think they do. From what I've been hearing, like this is all by design. This was, the streaming thing is the big thing, and as a friend of mine explained to me, that he like when it goes to Amazon, you'll be able to watch the movie, pause it, and then click on Battle Cat and go buy a Battle Cat on Amazon.
I could tell you, I did not think the Motu thing was gonna be any good.
Well, we're gonna be wrapping up in a few minutes here, but we got to say goodbye, early goodbye to Eric. Eric, thanks a lot for joining on this commentary. Always such a pleasure chatting with you for these.
Always a lot of fun, and I love doing this, and it's so much fun, with this group of great guys and all this stuff. So anytime, looking forward to Transformers.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right.
Have a great night.
See you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you.
And this is like Transformers the movie. We're losing them one by one. we lost Bob early. Bob pulled an Ironhide or a Prowl.
Eric just bought it.
Yeah, I can't deal with that right now. Bob pulled a Prowl earlier on his internet connection in the hotel he's staying at. He's on tour, folks. Check out Bob live. Comedian.
That's in my bucket list to see Bob live.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him live last year at Joe Fest, but on the stage live.
Yeah, I got to see him perform in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he is awesome. He is just, I mean, the video clips are great, but got to see him with Zoltan, his buddy Zoltan, and both of them were just so funny. The energy is so great. Just great to see him work in the stage. Really highly recommend seeing Bob live.
We got him as Bob on the floor, and he's what he sees, and I don't think he could put it into words. He sees things to make fun of that we would never see, and I think that's that vision that we don't really have.
He's
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, classic comedian, right? Just noticing things, and hey, did you ever notice this? Did you ever notice that? And it's funny. I remember like seeing him in person for the first time. We've talked tons of times on streams and on video chats and stuff, and on the phone, but looking down the hallway, and there he is, and he sees me, and you had to do the mega power handshake, where a handshake so powerful you have to hold on to your own wrist, so that your arm doesn't get blown off. And it was weird because we're like, so here we are, and he's like, here we are, like let's go do something. let's go to Toys R Us at Macy's or whatever store it is in the mall down the road. And it was funny because I'm like, this is no different. Like this isn't like you're from the internet. It's like it's just literally, it felt like every interaction had been in person. And then this actual in-person interaction, I think he described it as he was underwhelmed. He's like, I don't mean anything bad by it, but I was like, it was underwhelming. I'm like, I get what you mean, because it was just another day at the office, and that's cool when you can actually meet up with your buds that you've only been able to talk to through the internet. You meet them in person. It's like, this is really no different.
Once again, it's nice to see people as humans. At least to me, I like meeting people who you've kind of pedestalized and they're just human. And I don't know. I like humans. What can I say? I like humans.
What about robots?
Robots are all right, but humans are more better to me.
Well, we're gonna wrap this commentary up. This has been fun, and 40 years. What do you guys say to get 'em all back together again for a 50 year? I don't know if we'll be around for an 80 or 100-year anniversary of this movie. Hans might be able to. He eats he takes pretty good care of himself, but let's plan for a 50-year anniversary of Transformers the movie.
The 41st anniversary may be more doable.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe we should just do it every year and leave it at that.
I feel like you can always see good things and bad. If we really want to do it, we could start with the Bayverse stuff and start to work our way through those things as well.
You know, the funny thing about that is the movie doesn't matter as long as the company is good.
It's true.
And so when it comes to commentaries, it can be any movie. It could literally be Star Crash, or, you know, it doesn't matter. It could be Rise of Skywalker. If the company is good, then it's more about the outing than the content.
I can't have you disrespecting Star Crash, but we can absolutely disrespect Rise of Skywalker.
I love I've been meaning to do a commentary on Star Crash since I started the channel. And now that I found another guy who actually wants to do Star Crash,
Dude,
it's going to happen.
Dude.
It was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. It was awesome. David Hasselhoff, come on.
Not just David Hasselhoff out of nowhere. I was like, oh, cool. Because I like Carolyn Monroe, right? I found she was always like a fun actress. And funny enough, I feel the same way about Jane Fonda's earlier stuff. I found she had very good, like, she wasn't just a pretty face. They were funny people. So I sat down and then I watched Star Crash. And I was like, David Hasselhoff as a Jedi? Now I'm really in. You know,
there's a lightsaber in that movie. Now, I watched it with a bunch of friends in college and university, and we saw Hasselhoff on the box. We rented the VHS, and it was one of those giant VHS cassette cases, right?
Right, yeah.
Music. And we're like, oh, we got to watch this for David Hasselhoff. Knight Rider's on this. And we're watching the movie, and there's no Hasselhoff, and there's a weird green pickle guy. We're like, we're waiting for Hasselhoff. We're waiting for him. He's still not showing up. And there's this weird green pickle guy keeps showing up. And then at one point, one of us goes, oh no, is David Hasselhoff the pickle guy? And then, like, luckily, no, he wasn't the pickle guy. He showed up shortly after that with like this glorious perm. And I think he had like mascara. Like,
he had
bad makeup, bad movie makeup.
It was like, but for the time though, you know, that's the style, you know.
I remember pausing the opening shot of the ship flying, and like, that's from this model, and that's like from like a ladies nylon packaging.
What's the name of the director again? I keep forgetting.
George Lucas.
No, it was. But he was like a big B movie B movie director. I can't remember his name. I think it might have been Corman. It was Corman. It might have been Corman.
I'm looking at Luigi Cozzi.
I'm sure he's a B movie guy. I'm sure if we look at his filmography, it'll be Battle Amongst the Stars and all those weird things as well. But whatever. Star Crash was fun. I liked Star Crash. But there are a lot of movies, and the other one is the other one that kind of sticks out in my head is Yor.
Yor?
Yeah, that's not the full title. Yor.
Sounds like one of those.
The Hunter from the Future.
Oh, sounds like one of those Beastmaster type movies.
It is absolutely a Beastmaster sort of thing, and they totally spoil the movie in the poster. Now that I'm actually seeing the poster, but awesome. Tell me they didn't try to do He-Man without doing He-Man. Anyway, we could talk forever on these terrible, wonderful movies.
So let's close out with our favorite moments of the movie. Adam, what's your favorite moment, or a couple favorite moments?
I guess my favorite moment is just the part where Prime just plows through all the Decepticons and pretty much takes them all out himself. It was a great send-off for him.
If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you, Hans?
Oh, my favorite part is definitely Megatron's conversation with Unicron and his rebirth. That was chilling.
Kino. What do they say? Kino? It's cinema.
It's
cinema. That's Kubrick. Not that I'm a huge Kubrick fan, but like, that kind of equivalent is just
Yeah,
like riveting, and there's no action going on. It's the battle of the egos, the battle of the
yeah,
wills. Beautifully, beautifully framed, the speck
yep,
and this humongous planet.
yeah. I would have paid money to be in the same like the room with Frank Welker and Orson Welles having those conversations. I would have just I know they weren't together, but I would have loved to have seen what that would have been like. Because Frank Welker's a really happy guy, and I get the feeling Orson Welles is not or was not. Rest his soul. What about you,
um,
man?
well, one I never really noticed so many previous times watching this movie, but noticed it this time is Hot Rod and Cup plowing through the Sharkticons. I love the rockin' song, and I love the smackdown that they lay on the Sharkticons, but them actually like driving through them is such a cool moment, and it harkens back to Prime plowing through the Decepticons. A
No,
little
it's true. Yeah.
little hint of the Prime to come. There's little baby Prime, Rodimus Prime, plowing through Sharkticons just like Prime was plowing through Decepticons. So I like that he's a sports car, right? He's like a Mad Max sports car with a exposed blower and chrome pipes and a giant spoiler, and it's just powerful sports car. And it's cool to see him mow through something other than an old cup at the beginning of the movie. Just wow. So cool shot of seeing the two of them both, Cup as well, just kind of gunning them down in vehicle mode, because Transformers don't usually do much damage. At least the Autobots never did much damage in vehicular mode. They would transform and shoot and fight, but cool to see them just plow through endless Sharkticons. Awesome movie. I love it. It's always been one of my favorite movies. I can pop the movie in anytime. I can pop the sound. I do pop the soundtrack in often.
So do I.
I've done many workouts to the soundtrack, and I gotta also say, like, the new Motu soundtrack is up there too. It's another great one to work out to. It's so inspiring and hopeful and fun and upbeat. Like the music. If you just listen to the music, hey, if you didn't like the movie, that's fine. But if you just listen to the music of the new Masters of the Universe movie, it's just fun. It's got a hint of Queen in there because Brian May did some of the music, and it's got some of that fun kind of ABBA 70s disco feel to it, just upbeat, hope and optimism. I think Transformers the movie 86 and the new Motu movie just go hand in hand. They're very in the same vibe.
I just hope that the movie lands on its feet. Like right now, it's not landing on its feet with regards to the Motu, but all the pieces are there. And as you so rightly said, that soundtrack had, and I don't like to say it like this, but it's like it had no right to be as good as
Right.
it was.
Because we wanted the old theme, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm one of the biggest proponents of use the old music. I've done those mashups where I took the
Yes.
trailer and I put the old music to it, and I said, use the old music. Well, I mean, they didn't, but I cannot call it bad when it's not
Nope.
bad. I
Nope.
can't say you're wrong because you're not. Yeah. It's good music. And then they did throw us a bone. At the end, there is the original theme, and I listened to that, and I'm like, this is short, but this is really good. So I threw that on the original intro. I'm like, you have to loop it because it's so short. I don't know what the rights issues are. That might be another business reasons thing. One of the comments I've seen on one of the groups or pages somewhere, someone was saying, why didn't they use the old music? And someone said, they can't because the guy won't make a deal. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's entirely possible that that's one reason we've never seen that theme pop up in any of the new incarnations. Maybe Shuki Levy is his name, the composer of the original music. Maybe he just doesn't want to make a deal, or he wants to make too much money off of it. I'm all for, pay the man, pay Larry Hama, pay this man, or pay whoever, pay the composer, pay these voice actors, and pay them a lot. But I don't know the details of it. It might be this guy's asking for, like, I don't know, like something that's not reasonable in the business world of business reasons. I don't know what's going on. So the fact that it's in there, but it sounds a little different. There's a few notes that are a little off. And when I hear those notes that are off, the director in me goes, oh, are we changing these for legal reasons, because that's why you do it. I've heard a lot of knockoff themes that are close to, the Star Wars theme or the Ghostbusters theme. And if you change every few notes ever so slightly, then you're in the clear in terms of copyright violation. So when they change a few notes in the Masters theme, in that little tiny segment that they had, it's about a minute long, and I just think, is that what they had to do because they weren't able to make a deal? I don't know if they're like penny pinching and refusing to pay this guy a lot of money. Like I think I don't know. It could be one way or the other. They might be cheap and not want to pay him. The other option is he just doesn't want a deal, or he wants to ask for an unreasonable amount
Yeah.
for what they're trying to use it for. It could be a little of both. Who knows? It's background stuff we're not privy to.
They paid 200 million for the movie or something like that. A couple extra for the song wouldn't have killed anybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And it sounds like the theater thing would have been a bonus if it made good money at it, but I don't think that was their primary concern. I think the reason Amazon wanted to do this is for their streaming platform. That's where this thing is going to make its bread and butter. The director, a friend of mine filled me in on who the director is, Travis Knight. His dad is the Nike guy.
What?
Yeah, billionaire Nike guy. So I had a good little chat over on Armchair Directors with Matt about that whole situation, because I was telling Matt, like, this director, again, I'm not privy to the background information, but it just seems to me like this director said, you know what, I'm going to do it this way, and I don't care if you don't like it, fire me, or I don't get to do another one, but this is the way I want to do it. And I was like, it almost seems like he doesn't need the money, and that's unheard of, because every director needs the money and needs the job in Hollywood. And he said, yeah, his dad's the Nike guy. Travis Knight's dad is, I forget the first name, but it's whatever, Mr. Knight. And I was like, okay, so then how much money does he get from his dad? Because it could be a situation where it's like, you're going to stand on your own 2 feet. And Matt said, no, he's gotten a lot of money from his dad to make his own animation studio, stop motion animation. His dad has been very financially supportive of all his ventures. I was like, okay, so this guy could literally walk. He's got FU money. He can walk away at any moment if something isn't smelling right, seeming right to him. So what better guy to do a movie than a guy who doesn't need the money?
I just typed in his thing here. The 3 movies that pop up here. 4 that kind of kick me hard. Bumblebee?
Yeah, that was him.
Kubo and the Two Strings, which I just watched yesterday again. And Paranorman, which was another really creepy but also really fun movie.
Yeah.
He's got some chops,
So Bumblebee has that scene that everyone wanted. The Transformers looking like they did on the cartoon, the G1 versions of the Transformers. Yeah. That was Travis Knight that did that.
I'd have watched 2 hours of that.
Yeah. So, and again,
that's what Transformers 1 is 2 hours of that.
And there's so many moments in the Motu movie that just feel right. Like, yes, He-Man would say that. He-Man would do that. Even a younger He-Man who's not fully He-Man yet. And definitely Adam. Adam would say that. Adam would do that. Man-at-Arms would behave like that. Maybe not Randor in some scenes, but Matt explained to me like that actually kind of mimics Travis's relationship with his own father, because his father wanted him to be a Nike guy and Travis wanted to go and do his own thing. And so it was kind of an evolution of, okay, so I wanted you to be this, but you're going to be that instead. And I'm going to support you and I'm proud of you. And it's kind of beautiful, like he put a little bit of his own life, like directors used to do in movies, a little bit of their own life in their movie. So I like this guy as the Motu guy who, if something doesn't seem right to him, he can just walk away and go, I don't need the money. What better guy? You can't lock this guy up in an ironclad big money contract. He's just like, no, this doesn't feel right to me.
I said respect goes a long way with regards to legacy franchises. So,
and I think the people who talk about the dismal box office numbers, I think they're going to fall silent once it starts streaming, because
I really hope so.
We'll see. Time will tell. But if it starts doing great numbers on streaming, then I don't think those box office numbers are going to be as, there won't be as much gloating when it comes to the box office.
Right after the movie finished, right after what I finished watching Masters of the Universe, there's a toy store not far away, and my kids were with me, and they were like, "We want to go to the toy store," and we went in, and the Masters of the Universe movie toys were there too, and I was staring at them, and my wife was like, "Do you want a He-Man?" And I was like, in my outside, you're trying to look tough, right? But inside, I'm like, I do want a He-Man. So my wife didn't even she asked if I wanted a He-Man, but she didn't wait for it. She bought me a He-Man, so I actually have that movie He-Man.
Aw, that's cool.
And you know what's crazy? That's probably the happiest I've felt buying a He-Man. Not because it was from my wife, but we just finished watching the movie too. So it was
because he's such a good kid. That's why.
He was
such a good kid. I was telling Matt on Armchair Directors, I went into the toy room after I watched the movie, and I took a look at my Classics He-Man on his Battle Cat, and that's the cartoon He-Man, right?
Yeah.
It's not even the movie He-Man, but I just looked at it, and it reminded me of that good kid from that movie. I'm like, they got it. They got the really pure heart. They got the to a self-destructive level, to a suicidal empathy level. They got it, he was so good-hearted and understanding and wanting to talk and make peace that it literally, spoiler, got him killed in the movie. But that's okay. He's a magical being, and getting killed doesn't stick if you're magical. And you learn, you live. You know the expression, you live and learn? Well, He-Man in the movie lives and dies and learns.
And then learns.
And lives.
I still go 100% in saying that, and hot take, He-Man Revelations by Smith is still the best one. But
now, can you imagine if they had kept him dead in the movie, like they kept Prime dead, and waited to bring him back in some episode?
Well, that's why they call it Masters of the Universe and not He-Man.
Right. Yeah, we never
They
said
could
he
have
was the
upset
star.
a lot of people.
We never said he was the star. But yeah, this has been a blast, guys. Thanks a lot for joining.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, man.
Once again, I want to plug Hans's Instagram, Hans_Chow at Instagram. Check out his artwork there, and also check out his Patreon. What's the Patreon address?
Patreon.com/HansChow.
Patreon.com/HansChow. All sorts of awesome exclusives there. Sketches. The audiobooks are my favorite. The Excellence of Elocution. And maybe someday they'll do a novelization of Transformers the movie that you could read.
There is one, actually.
There is
one. Oh yeah, there is one.
Then there's also those storybooks that you could read as well. The ones with the Earl Norem art on them.
I am hunting those down as we speak. I'm hunting them. I picked up a bunch of the G.I. Joe ones. I'm hoping to find the Transformers and the He-Man ones, because me and Earl Norem. Oh my gosh! Anyway,
he's one of the masters. Yeah, one of the masters. All right, guys. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. And thanks everyone out there for listening along. Hope you had fun listening to this, as much as fun as we had watching it and chatting along with it. And big thanks to the Patreon tribe for supporting the channel. Patreon.com/Michael Mercy. Thanks to the channel members for hitting the join button. And we'll see you all again for another commentary. Transformers 1. Let's do this.
Yeah, sure.
Until next time, till all are one. Good night, good luck, God bless, and nerd stay.